Hey everybody, good morning. It's about 8:47 in the morning. This is the 9th of February 2021. I would love to talk to you guys about the markets. I would like to talk about the S&P 500. I want to take a look at NASDAQ. I want to take a look at Bitcoin. I want to take a look at alts. I want to take a look at stocks. We're going to do a full comprehensive review on the traditional asset space and the crypto asset space. Before I get into any of this, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You're responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research. I'm just giving my opinion on the market. We've got a lot to cover, you guys. So I say we go ahead and get into it. So let's move on over into the charts. Okay, here we go. All right, so I've got the S&P 500 on here. One thing that I do want to make note of is the fact that from the top to the bottom, that we have expanded to this 1.236, the 123.6 expansion to the upside, and that is after we had our big correction, which we were, I mean, I would say we accurately predicted that we were going to fall. I got out of all of my positions, well, almost all of my positions back here, sat mostly in cash, and it grinded up a little bit, but then ultimately we had a big drop, and I think this drop is pretty much done. But from there, this is very interesting that we are basically finding resistance here at this 123.6 expansion to the upside. It's typically an area where you would see some resistance after having a significant pullback. So we measure from the top to the bottom. We measure this whole move, and then we got basically right up there. And then of course, let me go ahead and remove this now that we've discussed that. Now that we've done that, what we can also measure here is a nice 1, 2, 3, ABC 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or if you want the 3 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, you can finish this off pretty nicely as an ending move, and then we should be doing a little bit of a pullback. Now, what kind of a pullback are we talking about here? I'm not talking about anything significant. Honestly, I'm not even talking about anything that's like this, even though that is entirely possible. That is entirely possible. If this move is complete, and I do have reason to believe that it is, then we should be doing a little bit of a pullback. Let me just measure this wave 2 to this wave 3, right there. We didn't come all the way down to this 382. We probably came down to about the 236. Let's go ahead and throw that on there and see. And we found support here at this 236 and at this 236. So logically, this supported a move for continuation to the upside. Let's take our trend-based fib extension. What we're going to do is we're going to measure this wave 1 right there. We're going to take it all the way up here to the bottom of wave 4. And there we have it. We got, our target being at that 100. So basically what this is saying is we measured the length of wave 1. We project it from the bottom of wave 4. So we're measuring wave 5, comparing it to wave 1, and we hit that 100%. We did overextend just a little bit, and what that tells me is I shouldn't expect it to go back as far. I shouldn't expect it to pull back as much. So now what we do, we're just stepping through this, all right? So first we had a range expansion, we hit that 123.6. Then we measured wave 3, saw that wave 4 came down only to the 236, it didn't come down to the 382, therefore we would expect it to go a little bit higher, and it did. Then we measure wave 1, project it from the bottom of wave 4, and we overextended the 100 a little bit. So this is showing signs of strength. So now let's go ahead and measure this completed impulse, or at least what we are currently calling a completed impulse. How deep are we going to go? Well, first off, let's look left. We've got resistance here. It was support here. Okay, so I would expect this 236 is going to be important support. We probably will find some support there, but ultimately I do think we're going to find our way down here to the 382. Now, I'm not marrying this, right? But what I think is more than likely going to happen is we get this bounce here at the 236. We find some resistance right there. Again, look left. We have resistance here. We've got support here, so I think we'll probably get rejected there. Find our way down here at that 382. It would make a whole lot of sense because, again, we have some resistance here. We had some support right here. We had resistance again. We had support here. Therefore, we should find some support here, and then this is where we go up. We go up higher from there. 5 waves up, 3 waves down. Are we going to be extremely bullish? I mean, I have to think that we are going to be a little bit bullish going through this, but that doesn't mean that I am going to be married to that, right? You have to be able to be adaptive to market conditions. Yes, I do think we're probably staging up for a little bit of a pullback here. We have outlined if this is in fact the impulse that we need to be keeping an eye on. We've got a 236 there at important previous resistance. We have the 382 at important resistance and support, resistance and support. You know, we've got a 4-time flip there, so therefore we should be able to confirm that as support. If we break down below this, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. If we close a daily below 38.15, that's not good. That's not good. Basically, what that would indicate is we're probably coming down here to the 50 or even to the 618. And I'd have to go back and take a look further to the left. That 618 doesn't really carry a whole lot of significance. There was some resistance here and some support here, but really that 618 is insignificant. So if we did break below that, I mean, these are the areas that you would be wanting to pay attention to, the 50 and the 618. But that wouldn't be good. In my opinion, that wouldn't be good. What I'm really looking for is this 1, 2. We hit this 175. We extended above it. Again, another sign of strength. We came down here for the 4. I don't believe that this is an A, B, C expanded flat, but it very well could be. But one way or another, I'm really looking for this guy to go up higher. Okay, I'm looking for this guy to go up to, you know, for maybe even 5,000. So I've got these placeholders just sitting out here and just waiting. This isn't anything significant that you should be paying attention to right now. We need to complete this price action right here. We've completed our 5 waves up, so now we should be completing a you know, a corrective move down, and from there we'll figure out where we're going. All right, let's take a look at NASDAQ. I haven't taken a look at NASDAQ in a while. I haven't taken a look at NASDAQ in a while. Probably we're going to find some old stuff on this chart, and that's okay. We're going to clean it up a little bit. All right, so obviously we were looking for this move to go a little bit lower, and that is not what happened. We got up here to this this area where we were talking about there being a rejection. We went right through it, and we actually reclaimed it as support, if you can see here, right there at that 786. So therefore, let me just go ahead and clean this guy up a little bit here and talk about what we've got going for this count. Excuse me. All right. So again, very similar to the S&P. We have this correction, this ABC correction down here into the 4. And what kind of an impulse do we have off of this? All right, so a couple things here. I'm going to do the same thing that I did for NASDAQ, or sorry, the same thing I did for the S&P. I'm going to measure from the top to the bottom. I'm going to put that 123.6 on here. And I'd be willing to bet that we didn't get there. Move that, 123.6. And we did not. Excuse me. The 123.6 would have been up here at 13,807. Now, are we going to see a final move getting ourselves up here? I mean, that's very possible. That would be the upper of this channel that we're in. But it doesn't look like it, which is going to be a sign of weakness for me. So when we do get a pullback on this, I think it's probably going to be a little more corrective. It's going to go down a little bit further than the S&P 500. So again, down here we've got this A, we've got the B, we've got the C down here into wave 4, and take a look at our waves indicator. You know, we talk about that all the time, and if you're interested in the waves indicator, there's a link in the video description to get access to our Discord. You'll find out all about it there. We got a good buy signal down here. The daily was pretty low, and actually this is almost 24-hour markets, so we're going to consider this the 12-hour. The 1 hour and the 3 hour are also down here as well. This was a strong sign to be buying. A lot of people were scared down here. This was a strong sign to be buying, you guys, and it paid off. It paid off pretty well. So even if you got in at the first sign, which would have been right here, the first sign was right there on that candle closure, all the way up to where we're at right now. That's, you know, 5.8%. It's not bad. On TQQQ, that probably would have pulled out like maybe 12 or 13%. That would have been a good trade. That would have been a good trade. We've got basically a sell signal here, a sell signal here, and a sell signal here. The higher this 12-hour gets, the more valid that sell signal becomes. So we're still looking okay for this to correct down. Do I think that we've got a good clean impulse? Well, let me go down to a 15-minute here for a moment, And let's just take a look at this. So again, we've got similar to what we had on the S&P, we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we go up for the 5. Is that the 5? Well, let's just go ahead and measure it out. All right, so we're going to measure wave 2 to wave 3. How deep did we go? We got to the 382. S&P 500 did not. Okay, so this is showing that NASDAQ is a little bit weaker as an index than the S&P 500 is. So we wouldn't expect it to go as high. And if you recall, on the S&P 500, we broke through this negative 236. We went much, much higher, which again was the equivalent of about 13,800 here on NASDAQ, and we didn't get there. We didn't get there. So this is a sign of weakness. So where am I expecting this guy to pull back to? And I'm not saying to short right now. That's probably not a very smart thing to do right now. But let's just take a look at this and see where we may be looking to buy. All right, 236 and the 382. Again, this is weaker. This is weaker. So I would be looking at the 50 or the 618. What is the 618? Well, it's getting down pretty low, but we broke the bottom of the channel back here as well. Okay, if, and again, guys, this is a big if. We're still taking equity positions even though this looks like it's going to pull back. If we get down here to this 618, this is a pretty significant place to be bidding, right? This is, you've got prior resistance here. We had resistance here, resistance here. We really haven't cleanly claimed this as support. So if we did get down here to 13,100, I mean, you better believe I would be interested in buying down here. And what is this going to look like? Well, let me just kind of paint this picture for you. From up here, more than likely we're going to get this A, B, and then we get the C to come down here. Again, I don't know how long this is going to take. This could take a day. This could take a week. I'm just saying to exercise a little bit of caution if you're in NASDAQ stocks, because it does look like NASDAQ is weaker than the S&P, and it looks like if the S&P is done for now and is correcting, NASDAQ is probably going to follow suit. These indexes usually move in the same direction on the same day, just some move in more points than another does, more percentage points than another does. NASDAQ looks a little weaker to me right now. One way or another, I'm still sitting okay. All right, let's go ahead and keep on moving through. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin. I've got a lot of people that have been asking me for a chart update on Bitcoin. What's Bitcoin doing? And we're going to have to wait just a second. We've got, my chart has been acting up a little bit. All right, so we were looking at Bitcoin moving itself up to about 53,000. All right, so let's just look at this for a moment, because so far this is accurate. We are following this pretty well. I'm going to remove this channel. I'm going to try and clean this up just a little bit because I know I've got a lot on here. Looks like I've got some duplicates, so let me just clean this up. We got that 618 pullback, and this guy right there, we were waiting for it to come back here to the 618. Didn't happen. All right, so let's remove this. All right. Bullish throwback testing the prior high of 42,000. I think that's probably what we're going to get. But what I think is currently happening, right? So I did this way back when we were at this price action right up here. I put this as a 1. Let me just put this on a little bit of a higher degree so that we can track this a little bit better. Okay. I'm going to change the color on this guy because I've got a lot of counts on here, just kind of trying to get into the subdivision a little bit. So we've got these 5 waves, right? Okay, so we've got, I'm going to remove this guy, trying to clean things up a bit. Whoops, nope, we wanted to keep that. Okay, because that's actually important. All right, so what we're doing is we're measuring this one, right? This was the Elon Musk pump that people were like, oh, Elon Musk pumped, so now it's going to fall, and it didn't. It didn't at all. We came back to this 618, and again, this was based off of a measured move from this low to this high. We got to the 618 pullback. Look at our indicator. The waves indicator said buy, just like the waves indicator right here said buy, just like the waves indicator right here said buy, right here said buy. All the time while we were down here consolidating, this was, our indicator was saying to buy, over and over and over. All right, well, anyway, um, we've got this move up. We've got the pullback to the 618, a strong signal to buy on a 618 pullback. That's extremely bullish. Okay, and so then what we've got is we've got the one. We did a little two here, a little two here, but you know, I'm looking at this a little bit closer, and I actually believe this is our two here, and this is our one. Oops, this is our one right here. Possible. You know what? I'm going to keep it the way that I had it for right now, the 1, 2. And again, this 3 right here is actually perfect. We were right in between the 1618 and the 175. We hit the 3618 of this move. This little 1, 2 with this expanded move down, this 1, 2, we hit that 3618 perfectly. And again, I'm looking for a move up here to this 4618 still. All right, so we've got the 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. We do the pullback. All right, so now we're seeing the real move that we've got here. Again, are we going to be getting this significant pullback? I'm not sure that we are yet. Like, we will get it, but I'm not sure if we're going to get it just quite yet. Let me measure this wave 2 to this wave 3. And again, I do believe that this is wave 3 potentially right up here. Let's see here. This would be technically this wave 3, but we're pretty strong, so I still think we've got higher to go yet. So that would be the 5 of the 3 up here at 4618. So right up there is more than likely where this is going to go. We're looking for this to come back for wave 4. All right, so let me just clean this out. A bullish throwback, testing the prior high of 42,000. Is it going to happen? Well, let's measure the bottom of wave 2 to the top of wave 3. Where is the 382? Well, we've already bounced on the 236. I don't think we're going to get that pushed down to 42K. If anything, we'll probably get down to 43.6, 43.5, 43.6. More than likely, that's where wave 4 is going to be. Then we move ourselves up here, right? Watch this, negative 236. That's at 51,000. I have historically said that we're probably going to go to 50 to 53,000. 51,000 and maybe extending just a little bit further would be fantastic for this to finish that move to wave 3. Then we come back for a deeper wave 4. All right, this deeper wave 4 more than likely is where we're going to get that bullish throwback to 42K. Then we go up for wave 5. Wave 5 sitting all the way up here, right? So this is, you know, take it out a ways, right? Take it out a ways. We're going to be taking a look for this guy to come up to about 60 to 65, maybe 70,000, which is going to be the completion of another wave 3 on a higher degree. Let me try and get this so that it fits here. I'm going to go to an hourly time frame, so this is going to look a little crazy here because I've got a lot of counts on here. But again, we're looking for this wave 3 to complete. Let me just change the color for contrast purposes. That wave 3, then we go down for wave 4, okay? Then we're going to be basically testing 50,000, and then we go up for wave 5. And wave 5, again, we're looking for probably 100,000. Now there's a long way to go, guys. Long ways to go before we actually get there. And I know it's very easy for me to say that we're going to make it all the way up here, and we might not. We might not. We absolutely might not. But what I can say is, if we do make it up here to 60 to 65, then we absolutely can, and we probably will make it up to 100,000. Lots has to happen between now and then. A lot has to happen between now and then. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. All right, so this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to scan through some alts that are interesting to me. If there's something you want me to take a look at, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to take a look. I'm going to be here for probably another 10 minutes, taking a look at some alts and kind of going from there. I'm interested in buying. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the Binance USDT, and I'm going to search by the negative change. I'm going to see if there's anything that looks good to buy. It's got to be red though in order for me to be interested in buying it. Okay, so we had a good pullback. This is not a good buy for me right now. Just taking a look at this. FTM, Not exactly. Not exactly. I'm not seeing that as a good buy right now either. And actually, probably a lot of alts are not looking the greatest to buy. The Lumens trade that I posted is still looking pretty good. Lumens, again, a lot of questions. Are we still looking for a move up to what is it, 83 cents, 81 cents? Are we still going to make it up there? It's possible. We got to take out this high over here, right? So we tried, we failed. We got to take out this high. If we can, then yeah, this still looks okay. FET is not a buy. And actually, you know what? I feel like a lot of these are probably not going to be buys for me right now. I'd probably need to be taking a look at the Bitcoin trading pairs. Bitcoin Cash, actually, let's see if I can pull Bitcoin Cash up over here. This one actually looked okay. So you can see our waves indicator indicated a pretty strong buy down here at about 380 to 390. And we're at 481 right now. So that's a pretty significant move up from the lows. You know, I'm not going to waste time here. What it looks like is it looks like it looks like cryptos want to do a little bit of a pullback, and if Bitcoin is going to make a little bit of a pullback down there to what did we say that we were looking for in the short term? We were taking a look back down here to 43.6. I would say, just based on the few that I just took a look at, it looks like we are probably going to see a little bit of a pullback on alts as well if Bitcoin does decide to make that pullback. Bitcoin did a good move. It went up to about 48.2, right? Almost 48,200. And now it would be reasonable to expect there to be some kind of a pullback. So I guess I'm not going to waste time and go through a whole bunch of alts unless there's something specific that you want me to take a look at. But more than likely, I'm just going to end up saying that I wouldn't be interested in buying right now because, again, the market does look like it wants to pull back a little bit. So if you're not in positions, I wouldn't be looking for new positions today. That's just my gut feeling. So I'm probably just going to stick with it. I'm going to take a look at some stocks here for a moment. I want to see if there's anything that is really worth buying right now. I'm just going to quickly go through these guys. Man, I'm still upset about AMC. We bought AMC at $1.93 because of our indicator, and now it's sitting. Obviously went up to 20 bucks, and then it's pulled back. I wouldn't be interested in buying AMC right now. It needs some time. It's probably going to bounce. I mean, if I'm being completely honest, AMC is probably going to bounce, and it looks like it wants to. But I'm not gonna dabble in those waters. So let me see what we can find here if there's anything that is worth buying. So this one's a no. Oh, GameStop. So sad. Down there at $56. GameStop, for what it's worth, looks very similar to AMC. It does look like it probably wants to bounce. I don't know how high it's going to bounce. It'd be nice if it bounced up to about, 180 or $200, but we'll kind of see what happens there. LOTZ, it's a fairly new stock, not a whole lot of history on there. This one looks okay. This one looks okay. I might dabble a little bit in this, maybe take a half position in LOTZ. Again, not a lot of history, but this, of course, it can keep going. It can keep going, but we had a buy indicator here and it bounced a little bit. We had a buy indicator here and it failed. We have another one here. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch this guy. All right, I'm just going to keep on going through this. AZRE. I'm going to say no on AZRE. CLOV. Yeah, the good buy was all the way back here, but not a whole lot of history on this guy either. Sear. Not a lot of history. Came to the 786. I'm going to say no on this one as well. SOL, that's a no. ABCL. we came down. It's probably going to, you know what, if this guy gets down here to the 618, and it's already up a little bit, it's up, gosh, $1 in pre-market. So I would say probably not to buy this guy right now. But if he got down here to the 618, that would be ideal. And it looks like it probably will based on the daily. So I'll put a watch on this guy as well. I'm interested in that. IEA, that's a no. EGHT, that's a no. U for Unity Software. Um, this one looks okay. It's up a couple dollars, but I mean, it's a $127 stock. This could work. Let's just take a look at this. And if I take this all the way down here to the bottom, it looks like we found support. Not quite. If I go to log scale, yeah, this one's a no for me as well. Levi, that's a no. INZY is a no. Look at the spotty price action. EB, Eventbrite, doesn't look too bad. Eventbrite doesn't look too bad. Obviously, we had some kind of a catalyst back here in November for this guy to bounce and gap up. It hasn't filled that gap. I'm going to say no on this one as well. Just taking a look from down here and that, you almost have, you know, a break of support and actually a bearish retest. I would say that one's probably a no for me as well. FCN, this one looks okay, actually. Let's see how far down that went. It didn't quite get to the 618. I would have preferred for that to go down to the 618. Even on arithmetic and logarithmic, they're both not there. Getting down to 104.67, what would a stop loss be if I took a trade on this, gave myself 3.5%? That would take it all the way down here, which it's reasonable, and I think an upside target reasonably would be at about 125. So you're talking basically a 5-to-1 ratio, 19% for and risking 3.54%. That's not terrible. I think I'm probably going to give that one a try. So FCN, we're probably going to take that trade today. Let's just keep on looking. So I'm going to mark this guy green because we're interested in that one. Road. It's getting close. I don't think it's quite there yet. It's probably going to bounce pretty hard when it does. But I'm going to say no on this guy for right now. Spotty price action. DoorDash. Man, it looks really, really good, actually. All right, so we've got that up there. We went down below the 618 on arithmetic, but let's go to logarithmic. Yeah, we're basically here at the 618 on logarithmic. Let's check this guy. Oops, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my P&L. DoorDash. Looks okay. Where's my 3.5%? I think the chances of that getting stopped out are probably pretty good. If you can get it a little bit lower, that would be ideal. But there's like a good 67% possibility on this. That's a 19-to-1 ratio on this guy. So I like DoorDash as well. I'm going to skip over Lemonade, DGNR. DGNR looks okay. The only thing I don't like is the spotty price action, so I'm going to skip it, even though it's probably a pretty good trade. Going from the bottom to the top, get that pullback, get off of log, and go to arithmetic. Yeah, I mean, it's down here basically hanging around at the 786. I wouldn't take that trade. Let's just keep on looking. This one gapping down. I don't like that one anyway. WEC looks like it wants to bounce, and we had a good buy signal here and actually a good sell signal up here as well. Then we have basically to buy again down here. Do I think energy is going to be doing okay? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure on that. But I mean, it looks okay. Let's just see. We might be getting into a couple things even in the morning here based on what I can see. Taking this to 3.5%. Yeah, I mean, that basically would be you've broken down through this support and now you're heading for this support, and that's more than likely what will break, and it'll go a little bit lower. So I do like this one, and I would hold it for a little while. I'm not going to project a target to the upside on that, but I do like WEC. So let's go ahead and watch that one, and let's take a look at CMS. And I've got to go. This is the last one, and not looking very good right now. It's another energy company, so it's probably going to bounce, but the indicator doesn't support a buy. Okay, that's all that I've got for right now. So if this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, you know the deal. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. If you need access to our Discord, there's a link in the video description, and we'd love to have you in our Discord where we're talking about trades, all the time. So wherever you're in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening.